I was in a meeting. My manager turned to me in front of the whole room and said, "James, what do you think we should do about this?"
And?
I knew what I thought. I had an opinion. But I needed 5 seconds to organize it. And instead, I just said, and went silent. And the silence felt like it lasted 3 years.
That's silence. Every learner knows it. The moment when someone asks you something and your brain needs just a little more time, but you don't have the tools to bridge that gap gracefully.
Today, we give you those tools. Every category of thinking time phrase, from simple ones that work anywhere to the advanced ones that makes you sound not just confident, but thoughtful. Because there is a difference.
I'm Maya.
And I'm James. Welcome to Maya and James Podcast, your place for honest, meaningful English conversations. Please subscribe and click the notification button. 2 new episodes every week, just for you.
5 groups. Each does a slightly different job. By the end, you will have a complete toolkit for every situation where your brain needs a little more time than your mouth.
Group 1. Thinking sounds.
The sounds and short words that signal, I am processing, I am here, I have not finished. Well, so, right. Now?
These are not meaningless. They are signals. They tell the other person, stay with me. I'm thinking.
Learners are often afraid of these. They feel like mistakes. But in reality, a perfectly silent pause often feels more uncomfortable than a thoughtful,
The key is energy. A thinking sound with forward energy sounds confident. The same sound with a drop in energy can sound uncertain. Well, said with a slight upward tilt, sounds like I'm about to say something interesting. Well, said with a downward drift, sounds like I don't really know. Same word, completely different signal.
Group 2. Buying time naturally.
Category A, when you need a moment to think. That's a good question. Let me think about that. Give me a second. I want to make sure I say this right. Where do I even start with this one? That's interesting. I hadn't thought about it quite like that.
Each of these does extra work while buying time. I want to make sure I say this right, signals that you care about precision. I hadn't thought about it quite like that, positions you as genuinely engaging with the question.
Category B, when you need to locate your thought. Now let me think. So the way I see it is, right, so if I had to put it simply, bear with me, I'm getting there.
Bear with me is one of the most useful phrases in this episode. It is honest. It acknowledges that you need a moment, but it is forward-facing. It says, I am on my way, completely different from I am lost.
Category C, when you genuinely don't know but want to stay in the conversation. That's not something I've thought a lot about, but my instinct would be. I'm not sure I have a strong view on this, but what I tend to think is. Honestly, I'd need to think about that more, but off the top of my head.
These are B2 phrases and they model intellectual honesty. In professional English, I'd need to think about that more is not a weakness. It is a sign of someone who doesn't just say the first thing that comes to mind. Group 3, softening words.
Words that go inside your sentences to make your language feel more natural and human. Kind of, sort of, basically, I mean.
Kind of and sort of are hedging words. They soften a statement, making it less absolute and more conversational. It's kind of hard to explain. She's sort of the person who organizes everything. It was sort of a turning point for me.
Without them, the same sentence can sound slightly blunt. It is hard to explain is grammatically fine, slightly stiff. It's kind of hard to explain is natural, warm, honest.
Basically signals I am about to simplify this. It gives the listener permission to relax. Basically what happened was, I think he's right. Basically, we need more time.
And I mean, the most versatile softener of all. It can buy time, add nuance, self-correct, or make a sentence feel more human. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's workable. I mean, I understand why she said that. I think it's fine. I mean, it could be better, but it's fine.
I mean, mid-sentence is native English. Learners who never use it can sound over-prepared, as if every sentence was written in advance. Group 4. Advanced thinking time phrases for B2 and C1 learners who want to sound genuinely impressive in professional conversations.
These don't just buy time. They reframe the question while you think. They show strategic engagement.
Let me zoom out for a second. Here's how I'm thinking about this. There are a couple of ways we could look at this. That depends on how you define it. The honest answer is it's more complicated than it might appear.
Let me zoom out for a second. Signals big picture thinking. Here's how I'm thinking about this. Signals transparency. There are a couple of ways we could look at this. Signals nuance. That depends on how you define it. Challenges the premise of the question gently. The honest answer is it's more complicated than it might appear. Signals self-awareness and buys you 10 seconds.
All 5 transform a thinking pause into a contribution. You are not absent while you think. You are present. You are framing, and the other person is engaged. Group 5. What to do when you lose your thought mid-sentence.
This happens to everyone, including native speakers. The natural way to handle it? What was I saying? Right, yes, so. Sorry, I lost my thread for a second. Where was I? I was going somewhere with this. Give me a moment. Anyway, the point is
the most useful recovery phrase in spoken English. It abandons the original sentence without apology and moves directly to the conclusion.
nobody judges a speaker for saying, "Sorry, I lost my thread." They judge a speaker for going completely silent and making the other person wait in discomfort.
Now the live test. Maya is going to ask me a difficult question. I answer using at least 3 phrases from today.
What do you think is the single most important quality of a good leader?
That's a good question. Let me think about that for a second. Well, there are a couple of ways we could look at this. I mean, if you're talking about leadership in a corporate sense, the answer might be different from leadership in a community. But off the top of my head, I think the honest answer is it's more complicated than it might appear. What I tend to think is the most important quality isn't any single trait. It's the ability to make other people feel heard. Because basically, if people feel heard, they follow. If they don't, they don't. Anyway, the point is it's about connection, not authority.
Spot on. 7 thinking time phrases in natural speech. Not forced, not hesitant, but engaged. Because these phrases don't hide the thinking. They are the thinking, spoken out loud in real time. 3 vocabulary words. Hedge. To soften or qualify a statement to avoid being too absolute. Kind of and sort of are hedging words. A good hedge makes you sound thoughtful. Too many hedges can make you sound uncertain.
Premise. The underlying assumption or starting point of a question. That depends on how you define it, challenges the premise. Before answering, check whether you agree with the premise.
Nuance. The subtle differences or shades of meaning beneath the surface. Fluency is not just vocabulary. It is the ability to express nuance, to say what you actually mean, not just a rough version of it. Advanced word for today. Articulate. As a verb, to express an idea clearly and precisely. As an adjective, describing someone who does this well. She took a moment to think, and when she spoke, she was completely articulate. The goal of all this practice is to become more articulate in English. Not just fluent, precise. 3 phrasal verbs. Trail off. For a sentence or thought to gradually become quieter or unclear. He started confidently, but trailed off halfway through the sentence.
Zoom out. To step back and consider the bigger picture. Before we get into the specifics, Let's zoom out for a second.
Bounce back. To recover quickly after a difficulty. The best speakers aren't the ones who never lose their thread. They're the ones who bounce back fastest.
Trail off. Zoom out. Bounce back.
Shadowing. Full voice. Pay attention to the thinking sounds. They carry meaning through tone.
That's a good question. Give me a second. I want to make sure I say this right.
Pause and repeat.
Well, there are a couple of ways we could look at this.
Pause and repeat.
Bear with me. I'm getting there. I was going somewhere with this.
Pause and repeat.
I mean, it's kind of hard to explain, but basically what I'm trying to say is...
Pause and repeat.
The honest answer is, it's more complicated than it might appear. Let me zoom out for a second.
Pause and repeat.
Sorry, I lost my thread. Where was I? Right. Anyway, the point is...
Last one. Pause and repeat.
4 speaking questions. Use at least 2 thinking time phrases in every answer.
Question 1. What is the most challenging thing about your work or daily life right now? Use at least 2 phrases from today. Pause and answer. Question 2. Do you think people in cities are more or less connected to their neighbors than 20 years ago? Open your answer with, there are a couple of ways we could look at this. Pause and answer. Question 3. What makes a city a great place to live? Use let me zoom out for a second somewhere in your answer. Pause and answer. Question 4. What will change most about working life in the next 10 years? Use the honest answer is, it's more complicated than it might appear. Then give your best attempt anyway. Pause and answer.
What will change most about working life? Well, there are a couple of ways we could look at this. I mean, the obvious answer is technology, AI, automation. But I think the honest answer is it's more complicated than it might appear. Let me zoom out for a second. What I tend to think is the technology changes are the surface. The deeper change is about what people actually want from work. More flexibility, more meaning, more... Anyway, the point is, I think what will change most is not what we do, but why we do it. Does that make sense? I mean, I'd need to think about it more, but that's my instinct. 7 thinking time phrases, 30 seconds. Not forced, just present, doing their job quietly in the background.
The next time someone asks you a question and your brain needs 5 more seconds, don't go silent. Reach for one of these phrases. That is all you need.
Subscribe to the Maya and James podcast. New conversations every week.
Which phrase from today are you going to use first? Write it in the comments. We read everything.
Until next time, keep practicing. Take care.